Elon Musk has fallen out with Russia and on a number of grounds. For one, Musk is keeping a close eye on Putin's quest to make Russia an AI powerhouse, and the billionaire is keen to shoot down those plans even before it takes off. Like the rest of the free world, Musk is also cheering Ukraine on as they fight with heart and courage to resist the unprovoked assault and invasion of their country by Russian forces. In this video, we'll take a look at Musk's warning to Russia. But before then, let's find out why Elon Musk and Russia are at odds. And just before we wrap up this video, we'll reveal how the tech genius is actively helping Ukraine in its resistance against Russia. Long before this show of shame by the Russian forces in Ukraine, Musk had predicted that superpower countries such as China and Russia could trigger World War III. China and Russia, soon all the countries with computer science, competition for AI superiority will most likely be the cause of World War III, Musk tweeted. You get a feeling that if he wasn't presiding over Tesla, SpaceX, and the Boring Company, Musk would most likely be a double agent for the CIA, because he's hardly wrong when he makes these calls. With what we've seen in Eastern Europe after the past week or so, this invasion could metamorphose into a shooting game between some of the world's superpowers, unless something is done to avert it quickly. Why is Elon Musk and Russia at odds? In 2001, intoxicated by the big payout he got from selling PayPal, Elon Musk set out to begin his space journey. The plan was to first send a sacrificial lamb to space in the form of mice, but Musk was rocketless at the time, so he traveled to Paris alongside his best pal from Penn, Adeo Ressi, and Jim Cantrell, an aerospace supplies expert. On getting to France, they attempted to make a deal with Arianespace, only to realize that European rockets were too expensive. Elon Musk and his entourage headed east to Russia to hold a meeting with officials of the country's space program who were reportedly willing to sell some of their repurposed ICBMs. It turns out they were headed for a vodka drinking contest. We started having meetings with the Russian space program, which is basically fueled by vodka. We'd all go in this little room and every single person had his own bottle in front of him, Adeo Ressi recounted. They'd toast every 2 minutes, which means 20 or 30 toasts in an hour, to space, to America in space. I finally looked over at Elon and Jim and they were passed out on the table. Then I passed out myself, Messi added. Elon Musk decided to call for a rematch in Los Angeles. However, the Russians drew another surprise from their big bag of tricks. We can't continue unless you give us $5,000 in cash, they informed Musk and his friends who, against all odds, rallied around to provide $5,000 on a Saturday. In what was supposed to be the concluding meeting, both parties met in Russia. Musk carried along an extra ally though, a whopping $21 million, which he believed was going to be enough to pay for 3 ICBMs based on the agreement they had. Surprisingly, the Russians moved the goalpost as they demanded $21 million for each rocket. But they didn't stop there. According to Jim Cantrell, the Russians reportedly mocked and spat on Elon Musk. Today, that little boy is the world's richest man, and one of his many successful ventures, SpaceX, is the world's biggest private space exploration company. For many years, NASA depended on Russia to transport American astronauts to space. Elon Musk came to the rescue with his Falcon 9 rockets, meaning NASA was no longer at the mercy of Russia. President Vladimir Putin wants Russia to dominate the world when it comes to AI. Artificial intelligence is the future, not only for Russia, but for all humankind, he explained. It comes with colossal opportunities, but also threats that are difficult to predict. Whoever becomes the leader in this sphere will become the ruler of the world. However, this plan doesn't sit well with Elon Musk, and this is understandable given the history between the US and Russia. In response to Verge's report about Putin's AI comments, Musk tweeted, "It begins." There are many concerns that if Russia becomes an AI force, it could use the knowledge to inflict havoc on the US and other countries. Those fears are currently playing out in Ukraine. Vladimir Putin has defied human logic and appeals by President Joe Biden and other world leaders to stop its military assault in Ukraine. The economic sanctions don't seem to be working either. Seeing this, the United States and other countries have ramped up support for Ukraine by providing medical supplies, intel, and weapons that are being used to resist the Russian invasion. Corporate organizations and individuals are also contributing their quota. Banking on Elon Musk's philanthropist nature, you can bet that the Tesla boss would be more than willing to help Ukraine in any way possible if called upon. But given what officials of the Russian space program did to him in 2001, others may interpret any act of kindness by Elon Musk towards Ukraine as his way of trying to get revenge. As part of efforts to stop Russia's advancements in Ukraine, President Joe Biden has imposed some hefty sanctions on Russia, including one that would degrade the country's aerospace campaign. There are also talks to cut out Russian banks from the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Communications, or SWIFT. Despite the bad blood between Biden and Elon Musk, the SpaceX boss is united with the president and the rest of the world in their criticism of Russia's actions in Ukraine. The head of Russia's space agency, General Dmitry Rogozin, said this sanction could break the aerospace relationship between Russia and the US and jeopardize the safety of the ISS. If you block cooperation with us, who will save the International Space Station from an uncontrolled deorbit and fall into the United States or Europe? Dmitry asked on Twitter. Elon Musk replied with a logo of SpaceX, suggesting that his aerospace company would save the ISS if Russia attempted to shoot it down. Dmitry's comments shouldn't be taken lightly because Russian systems control the orbit and location of the ISS. Dmitry Rogozin once implied that the debris in space is caused by American talented businessmen. He didn't specifically mention Elon Musk, but we all know who fits the bill. Meanwhile, Russia's anti-satellite tests littered space with over 1,500 pieces of trackable debris. Right before we tell you how Elon Musk is helping Ukraine in its fight against Russia, if you've made it this far, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. Over the past week, Russia has launched cyber attacks against Ukraine's communication systems. Following these attacks that crippled some government-owned websites, the Ukraine's Vice PM, Mikhailo Fedorov, turned to Elon Musk for help. While you try to colonize Mars, Russia tried to occupy Ukraine. While your rockets successfully land from space, Russian rockets attack Ukrainian civil people. We ask you to provide Ukraine with Starlink stations and to address sane Russians to stand, Fedorov said in a tweet. Less than 11 hours later, the tech savior of the world, Elon Musk, responded. Starlink service is now active in Ukraine. More terminals en route. Many have hailed this move because access to the internet will help Ukrainians squash the false propaganda peddled by the Russian media. It's glaring that Elon Musk doesn't fancy the Putin-led Russian Federation. As the war lingers, President Putin has put his nuclear forces on high alert, but the whole world continues to support Ukraine. If necessary, Elon Musk will support the United States and the rest of the world in any attempt to knock out Russia. What are your thoughts on Russia's invasion of Ukraine? Do you support Musk's decision to activate Starlink in Ukraine? Leave your comments below. Be sure to check out this video over here, why the Tesla Cybertruck is so special.